welcome to another video. We're at Ward's Auctions in Edmonton, Alberta. This time it is a Firearms and Military auction. It's a two-day sale. It's the first time we've done a two-day sale. About a year ago exactly was, I think, our first out of the gate for our partnership with Bud Haynes and Company out of Red Deer. The partnership had started to come together about a year, even 2 years before that, but it took time to line up all the ducks and get everything organized. So I think this is our 1 year anniversary of actually working side by side 100%. I think it's working out pretty good so far. As I said, this is the first two-day sale we've done. The viewing is on October 24th, that's Friday, 2 days from the filming right now. October 24th, 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock, that's on the Friday. On October 25th, 26th, 2014, 9 o'clock in the morning we open, and at 10 o'clock in the morning we start selling. We started lot number 1, of course, on the Saturday. We started lot number 600 on the Sunday. So if you're looking at your catalog and you're wondering what's going on, effectively we go to $5.99 on the Saturday, but I don't think there is a $5.99, but whatever it is, the bottom line is we started lot number 600 on the Sunday. The first day is much more military weighted. The second day is more your standard hunting, fishing type firearms and accessories, loading gear, ammunition, all the rest of it. Today is actually October 22nd. It's in the evening. Today is the day that we had in Canada, of course there's going to be people seeing this all over the world, but we had a senseless act of violence, of terrorism at our capital. And there was a Corporal Nathan Carrillo was brutally gunned down. He was an honor guard at the War Memorial. There's not a lot of details that we have that would be 100% accurate because it's just early days yet. Just wanted to say on behalf of myself, Brad Ward, my family, the Ward's Auctions family and staff, the Haynes group, I'm sure I can speak for them, that our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts go out to his family. Him, may he rest in peace. There's not a lot we can say about it. It's just a horrible, horrible act of terrorism, completely inexcusable. I'm assuming that the two people had never met before, so how can you possibly excuse that? In any case, on with the sale. This is one of the feature items in the sale. Lot number 100 in your catalog, pay close attention. Boer War uniform and some other ephemera that goes with it, and a book and so on, some medals. Take a look at the catalog. It's lot number 100. This is all one person's collection that I'm standing in the middle of. We're going to scan the camera around it. I'm not going to talk about every piece, of course. It's just, it would be time prohibitive. But you can see there's everything from edged weapons to medals to hat badges to armbands to flags. There's going to be older and newer. This is a pretty feature item as well. It's lot number 179, and it is a extremely rare Canadian Garrison Battalion cap badge. It's lot number 179. Take a look at that in your catalog. Again, we won't feature every single piece in here. The list is just way too long, and that's the reason for having it all on the website, wardsauctions.com and budhaynesauctions.com. You can download a printable catalog. However, it is about, I don't know, 60 some pages, 70 some pages. It's not a small catalog. Or you can buy them here when you get to the sale. I think they're $25, but they're a nice keepsake to have afterwards. Shows everything. It doesn't show pictures of everything, sorry, but it has all the descriptions and there's everything. There is Nazi pieces in here. You're going to see some people are against that. You have to remember, it is an important part of history. It actually happened, and I'm of the opinion that if you ignore it, you're doomed to live it again, sort of attitude. I'm sure there's a much more famous saying that goes along with that, but it's true. If you ignore it and pretend it didn't happen, it's going to happen again. You can see the sea of chairs out here. Over there, there's archery stuff. There's military hats on the wall. There's a bear. There's an African animal over there. What's it called again? A kudu? Kudu. My apologies, I'm not a wildlife guy. Imported legally. We have all the paperwork where it was, when it was brought into Canada and all the rest of it. So we have that. Copies of that you can take with you. You can see a couple of gun safes over there. There's an old computer desk. There's nothing firearms related about that or military. It just happens to be from the same house as the kudu, and so why not get rid of it and make it happen. So that's a large part of the military collection. There is other stuff, and there's non-military stuff in the sale as well. There's this knife collection. This all belongs to one person. There's everything from handmade custom pieces to hunting knives to fishing knives. The bottom is older stuff, some daggers and so on, of which there's a gajillion on the sale. Here's a couple that I pulled out of the case. Handmade scabbards, of course, but look at that Damascus work on there. Handmade everything on there. I'll show you another one too, because they're just so, and there's a whole pile of them in that cabinet there. So when you come to the viewing, ask to have a look at those. Treat them with respect. They are sharp, very sharp. This is the largest sale we've ever had of this type, so to talk about every firearm would be absolutely prohibitive. But this top one closest to me, lot number 738, is the Winchester Model 1885 High Wall Deluxe. You can see the condition of it just by this. Of course, at the viewing, you'll be able to get a better look. There's a letter to go along with that one there. Below that is, again, almost in new condition. If it's been fired when it was a baby, you know, maybe once. It's a Springfield 1884, and it's actually got a date cartouche of 1893 on it, and I don't think it's had a round through it. Quite a nice selection of Colt single actions, good antique pieces in a couple of different variants, 1860 Army and some other single action Army over there. There's this one in the middle here, you're going to find on the website again, wardsauctions.com, is a Mauser G41. And it's all matching numbers. It's in excellent condition. You're going to find a gallery on the website that has, I'm not sure, a lot of pictures showing all the internal workings, the condition, the matching numbers, etc. That comes from part of the collection out of BC. I think there's over 100 pieces from the one person. Definitely takes pride in his collection, so you're going to want to pay close attention. I'm hoping that you can come and see in person. If not, you can bid online. So again, go to the websites and you'll follow the link to iCollector and you can register. You need to be registered by Friday in order to bid. If you try to register Saturday, it's just not going to work for you. This top one here is a double rifle. It's not a double shotgun. The one in the middle, but between the handguns and the other one, is actually a rifle and a shotgun. That's a really neat piece. Lots of engraving on it. You're not likely to use it, but what a great looking piece. Here in the case shotgun, anything with a case automatically kind of gets me going. I just like it when it's got the original cabinetry with it, and look at the wood grain on it. So it's just a great piece just to look at and to hold. I'm a firearms enthusiast, have been since I was a kid, since I was a young boy. My kids, as a matter of fact, when they were little, were almost raised at the shooting range, and I used to shoot IPSC back in those days. And I used to practice at a place called the Firing Line downtown. And on a Friday night, it was my turn to be the father. Well, me being a father meant taking them to the range while they played pool in the what they called the lounge, the shooter's lounge. And they had a pop and a bag of chips while I was inside shooting and doing whatever. And they'd come out to Spruce Grove Range with me and watch. And their grandma, my mom, used to bring them out there on occasion. This is an AR-15. So I still shoot. I haven't shot an IPSC match for a long time, but I did take what they call the black badge course because I like shooting. I'm not a collector of the expensive antique pieces. I definitely appreciate them. I'm a shooter, so lately I took up what they call three-gun shooting. So those that are not familiar, if you're watching this, you're one of our regular auction clients, you're not really a gun person, you don't know what that means. Just Google on YouTube three-gun match. You're going to see that the AR-15 is the carbine of choice. So I have one not unlike this. And then you use pistol and shotgun, hence the three guns. And it's an action shooting sport. The firearms community and those shooting sports are extremely safe. They sometimes look a little bit intimidating to somebody who hasn't done it before, but I highly encourage you, if you think you might be interested, take a look at some of those shooting sports. They're absolutely fantastic. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get into it. It looks like you can spend a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but you can get a pretty basic AR, pistol and shotgun and go shoot three-gun. You're not going to win necessarily, but you're going to have a lot of fun. I always tell somebody when I take them out the first time, the most important thing is to be safe. Second most important thing is to have fun, and thirdly is to maybe place. Behind me, commemoratives, of course. We have commemoratives, but there's more bayonets down here and so on. There's a Winchester book, one of 1,000. It's never been opened, so when you come to the viewing, you're not allowed to open it either. It's never been opened. There's some commemoratives in here. Always have the commemoratives. They're always fun, popular. More bayonets down here. Some are going to be quite rare, I'm sure, and some of them are going to be a bit more common, but I've never seen this many as far as any sale, be it ours or anybody else's. There's also a bunch of non-firearm related items in the sale. Here's a selection of brand spanking new watches. There's jewelry. There's coins, antique coins. There was coins on the other side where the medals were. There's antique coins in here, including early 1800s gold sovereigns. So it's a little unusual to have those in this sale, but you know, that's kind of part of the fun of it too. You can have something for everybody. This cabinet here, you can see that it's all scopes, of course, and most of them are new in box and quality pieces. You're not looking at some $100 scopes in here. You're looking at some very expensive scopes that largely have never been out of the box or used for anything. So definitely an opportunity to get that. I know I want this. I posted this on Facebook the other day. This is a grenade launcher, because I can't imagine living life any further without it now that I've seen it. Very rare, I'm quite sure. I don't know a lot about it as far as what it's worth. I know I want to have it. One of my friends suggested we could use it to shoot t-shirts off into the crowd, so I'm not sure if that's a viable option or not, but we'll be getting the R&D department on that. Quite a few handguns, restricted and prohibited. Those of you that again might be watching this because you're one of our regular auction clients, you're not necessarily a gun client, and you're just curious, right? You've never been, maybe you're a bit intimidated by it. I certainly encourage you to come down. It's the same friendly staff, it's the same room. This is a prohibited firearm. This is a restricted firearm. So, meaning you have to have a higher class to have that little thing there than this one here, or this one here, or even this absolute monster, 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. It shoots Volkswagens right out of the barrel. Absolutely cool. Compensated and ported up here. You can look into what that means, or come to the sale, or come to the viewing and ask if you're not a gun guy. This is prohibited because it's shorter. It's a little tiny, probably a 22, it's a little 32 caliber, a little short barrel. It makes no sense to me if you start looking at law, and I'm not preaching to the gun guys here because they already know, but do you really think that the quote-unquote gangbangers are looking for this to go out and do all their shenanigans? I don't think so. So, you know, I wish a little more common sense was involved in our laws. This would be a perfect gun again to go with your AR that's out there to shoot 3-gun. This is a 1911 model. This is a Norenko. It's not a terribly expensive gun. It's all set up. It's got a nice adjustable iron sight on there. It's got a really nice extended safety and mag release. This is ready to roll for 3-gun because you're not going to go into open class with this. Again, something that the novice can ask me about or ask somebody else about. So that's fantastic. I'm a real 1911 fan, so that's a good gun for me. Over here, something else I've never seen before is, I mean, you see one, but there's a whole collection of flare guns. This one's a double barrel flare gun. This one here, I mean, this is, like, that is a nice looking piece. Take a look at that thing. Brass, fitted wood. Oh, this is just fantastic. This is the coolest thing. Little flare gun. I think that I need to have that too. There's a lot of things in this sale I need to have. I have to have a bunch of money to spend on this one. There's swords in here. There's cheaper, giftware swords. There's more expensive swords. You're gonna, we've got them behind glass so that people don't poke themselves with them. We're showing you a lot of antique pieces, some newer handguns in the AR and so on. But look at these, lots in boxes. Brand spanking new, hunting rifles and shotguns and so on. Many of them never been fired. So there's that as well. It's not all about the antique firearms, and short or long, but there is a lot of vintage military long guns. Take a look at this one. I'm not sure if the camera's showing you how high, but look at how many bayonets we're seeing. You don't see a collection like this out of one person. Well, this is not all from one person, this wholesale. There's a few people involved here. There's even the Browning automatics here. Again, special licensing involved there. Down on this side, again, more and more vintage military. There's no sense in me starting to talk about them because anybody who knows about them knows way more than me. Again, you get into what I consider favorites because they're different. I've just never seen one like that with that neat little drum mag. So it catches my eye right away, even if I don't know a lot about it. But again, there's no sense me telling you about it because you guys already know more about it. I'm appealing to some of our non-firearms people there. I'm trying to reach some of them, some of you people out there, to show you that it's not as scary and intimidating as you might think. And they're inanimate objects. It's talking about our horrible situation today down east. You know, I can't impress it upon you enough. It was not a firearms incident. It was an act of terror. He happened to choose a firearm as his tool, but so did the guards and the police choose a firearm as their tool to stop it, which they did. So as soon as that terrorist was killed and that tool was out of his hands, it was no longer a threat. It was just an inanimate object that you treat with respect, like you would anything else, be it a sword, a firearm, a slingshot. Take a look at this one here. Brand spank, I don't think it's ever had a round through it. You know, there's a good dollar right there. That's a 405 win. We need to have that one there. I don't need to have that one. I have a whole bunch of other stuff I do need to have, don't get me wrong. There's lots of lever actions in the sale, everything from your 30-30s to your little 22s. You know, great pieces. I would have loved to have had one as a child. I did have a repeater bolt action. My mom did not want me to have it. Back in those days, look at the Bren gun. Where did you see a Bren gun? We have one right here. The carousel horse is not in the sale. My mom did not like guns either. She was not a fan. When I was 13 years old, I finally coerced her into allowing me to have a BB gun, a pellet gun. And that soon turned into a 22 repeater. Back in those days, and that's not that long ago, and we were out in the country in a subdivision, not in the middle of nowhere, all of us kids would have our slings and our rifles, you know, on our backs, on our dirt bikes, and there'd be 3 or 4 of us, and we would take off, and we were the great white hunters shooting gophers out in the farm fields. Still to this day, the biggest thing I ever shot. I never did become a hunter. I just like firearms, and I like competition shooting and plinking and whatnot. I won't date a girl unless she likes to go to the range, let's put it that way. But us kids were riding around out there, we'd go plinking, shooting at cans and whatever. Nobody was calling the cops. There was no big deal about it. It was just 14-year-old boys being 14-year-old boys, and we all were taught to treat them with respect through hunter training and so on. And nobody got hurt and nobody freaked out. There's a little bit of damage on these, a couple of these commemoratives in here. This one's a Klondike commemorative, little tiny pitting. Normally I'm not going to go out of my way to show you anything that's got a condition issue. It happens, right? I can't, you know, say over and over again enough. The firearms people, they know, but let's say you've inherited some guns or whatever and it's not really your thing, but you have them. Storage is extremely important. These ones were probably wiped down too clean maybe and left in a storage safe that got hot, got cold, got hot, got cold, weren't treated properly, weren't oiled. Maybe no desiccant in the safe or whatever, and they need a little bit of pitting on there. There's nothing you can do about it. So these are going to be great, a couple of them, but they don't all have that. Don't get me wrong, but this one does sort of, because now you can take a commemorative, which normally nobody wants to shoot, and you can go shoot this one because it's already got a little bit of something going on with it. So anyhow, that's that. I think I've rambled on enough, but take a look. The list just goes on and on. Again, hunting pieces, military pieces, antique and new, shotguns. There's everything you can possibly imagine. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic day, 2 days. Viewing is on the 24th, October 24th. That's 2014, from 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock. 11802 145th Street in Edmonton, Alberta. It's Ward's Auctions. This weekend it's Ward's Auctions and Bud Haynes Auctions combined. Nice little partnership there. wardsauctions.com. budhaynesauctions.com. You can see all the pictures, download a catalog, you can do all that sort of fun stuff. We open at 9 o'clock in the morning Saturday, start selling at 10 o'clock. You're going to want to come, reserve your seat, it's going to be busy. Online bidding, same thing as the websites too. If you have any questions, phone the office, 780-451-4549. Thanks for watching.